All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our continuing coverage of tonight's Super Tuesday 3 primaries, and it's been quite a night so far. 358 total Republican delegates up for grabs, and Donald Trump has won Florida, which of course is a winner-take-all of 99. He's won Illinois and North Carolina. John Kasich wins the winner-take-all of 66 delegates in his home state of Ohio, and we still have Missouri too close to call. On the Democrat side, Hillary wins Florida, North Carolina, and Ohio, with Illinois, her home state, and Missouri still too close to call. And Donald Trump won Northern Mariana Islands. They had 9 delegates. By the way, you could watch the Steve Malzberg Show every night, Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's our usual time. We're privileged to be coming to you at this hour, right until midnight. Rejoining us on the panel right now to talk about all of this is Rick Ungar, senior political contributor with Forbes.com and co-host of Steele and Ungar on SiriusXM. Carrie Sheffield, contributor with Forbes and fellow of the Competitive Enterprise Institute. Tom Borelli, Ph.D., contributor with Conservative Review. Thank you, Rick and Carrie and Tom. And let us get right to it. Carrie, your take on what we have seen so far tonight?
Well, Marco Rubio dropped out. I think that's the headline of the night. And
she has her own group.
I think that, it was sort of, it wasn't his time right now, which was unfortunate. I think he's a great communicator. He could have really gone far. I think the Democrats are most afraid of him. Unfortunately, he went out. I think the story with Kasich winning Ohio was key in the sense that this could be a brokered convention. This could go all the way to convention because Donald Trump is going to have to win something like 59% all the way from here on out. And Ted Cruz, I don't think he's going to let that happen.
Well, Tom, if there's a brokered convention and Donald Trump gets near, oh so near, but not quite there, it's going to be chaos. And if they try to ramrod one of the establishment candidates like the loser Mitt Romney, who, by the way, it continues to knock Donald Trump probably as we speak, or someone like that, it's going to be a disaster for the Republican Party.
No, absolutely. If it goes to that point, time will tell, especially as you mentioned, if they try to pull a rabbit out of a hat. You have to be thinking, what's Kasich thinking about at this point? He really doesn't have a mathematical way of winning. So maybe he's trying to broker a VP, and maybe he'll throw his name, he'll go either way with Mr. Trump or Mr. Cruz. Try to do that. Same thing with Rubio. Rubio is out there too. He's got some bartering points. So it's going to be dynamic, but at the end, it looks like it's really headed to a convention because I don't think Trump can do it at this point.
Well, Rick is shaking his head no, I don't necessarily think that Kasich wants to be vice president, but I think he would take it.
There's something I think everybody's missing. I agree with all of you. It is headed to a brokered convention. Who at this moment, if you assume that they would take it away from Trump, and there's a pretty good shot they would, and it would cause the chaos that Steve said. I agree with that completely. But who stands to be the likely nominee? It's not going to be Mitt Romney. It's going to be John Kasich, the guy who the numbers show has the best chance to beat Hillary Clinton. That's going to be the sales pitch. That's what's going to carry a brokered convention. Who can win? But the chaos, absolutely right, Stephen, and that we're going to get the first glimpse of it when we get to the Rules Committee and Donald Trump tries to control it and nobody will let him. It's going to be ugly.
Well, it's going to be ugly, Carrie. It's going to be ugly because if John Kasich, let's play under the, first of all, as I mentioned earlier, John Kasich has won one primary. John Kasich tonight did not finish higher than third in any of the others except his own home state. I'd hardly call that a tidal wave of any kind. He was expected to win his home state, and he did. Having said that, if John Kasich somehow becomes the drafted nominee of the party, a man who says, well, the Supreme Court spoke, so we got to have gay marriage, and yeah, man does influence climate. Yeah, I believe that. Republicans will sit home. It's going to be McCain, Romney, 3.
I don't think so. No, as Rick Ungar pointed out, Kasich polls very well. He's got a positive message. He said, tonight that he doesn't, take the low road to the highest road office in the land. I think that that's positive. I think that that's actually a message that could resonate with a lot of people. And the fact of the matter is, if Donald Trump agreed to the rules, if he can't unify the party, how can he unify the country? That's a question that all his supporters have to answer.
Carrie, people don't want the country. First of all, I want to correct. We misspoke. I misspoke when I introduced you. You are the founder of Bold.global, and I urge everyone to go to Bold, BOLD.global. That's Carrie Sheffield's affiliation. I was wrong in the beginning. The conservative base of the Republican Party, the people that Donald Trump is bringing in as independents and as Democrats to the party to support him, don't want a unified country. They know they can't get a unified country when the Democratic Party stands for abortion on demand, unlimited deficits, affirmative action, you name it. They don't want to unify with those people. That's the success of Trump, Carrie.
No, but the thing is, Trump supports the Iran deal. Trump wants to...
No, he doesn't support the Iran deal. Constantly, he calls it the worst deal ever made. Come on.
He says that Hamas is on the same footing and he's neutral when it comes to Israel.
I don't like that either, but he's trying to play games with them, so he thinks he can make a deal. He's going to find out very soon when he surrounds himself with the right people that Hamas are a bunch of terrorists along with the Palestinian Authority who teach their kids to kill the Jew. And his grandchildren are Jewish and his daughter is Jewish. He's saying a lot of things now, but Tom, I mean, tell me, am I right or is Carrie right?
No, I think Kasich would be another horror show for the Republican Party. Look, you have two non-establishment people leading with Cruz and Trump. That's where the people want to be. That's where the energy is most important. We don't need a governor. He's been a very good governor. Let him stay there in Ohio. We don't need someone who likes Obamacare and expanded Medicaid expansion. We don't need any of that again. You're right, Steve. It would be another disaster. It would be Romney. It would be a McCain all over again. Been there, done that. We've all seen that movie. It ends badly.
Rick, Donald Trump is the only candidate, because Kasich is above it, like McCain was above it with Obama, like Romney was above it with Obama, and they lost. Trump will be the only candidate to go out there and talk about and bring onto the stage the women who claim that they were harassed and threatened by Hillary Clinton because her husband gave them unwanted sexual advances, and that's putting it mildly. He's the only one who will bring the relatives of the Benghazi victims up on stage to say, Hillary's calling us a liar. She did tell us that it was the video, and now she says she didn't tell us that. He's the only one who will play the tape of Hillary saying, laughing about getting a child rapist off when she was a lawyer back when. If you don't go after Hillary that way, she will win. And Trump is the only one who will do it.
I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe he is the only one that will do it. What I do find always interesting, though, is when somebody is supporting Donald Trump and you hear an issue that he's taken a position on, like you with his position on Israel. I don't know what it is. Everybody who supports him says, yeah, he doesn't really mean that. It's a negotiating position. He'll find out. On every issue that people disagree with. That's the magic of Donald Trump, is that he can tell you stuff and you forgive him immediately, even when you disagree with him. That's going to make for an interesting situation if he gets to the White House.
Carrie, go ahead.
I was going to say, Rick's absolutely right. It's an emotional bond. It's not an intellectual bond. I understand that 7 years of a very divisive president, Barack Obama, like Donald Trump is the exact polar opposite of that. And I think there's got to be a middle ground. And I don't think that what he's talking about, banning 1.6 billion people, like we don't even have a religious test to enter this country.
So Carrie, you want to let all Muslims in without anything, right? Is that it? Because the Inspector General for Homeland Security just said today that we're in grave danger of terrorists coming into this country with refugees and immigrants, and you don't care about that.
I absolutely do, but to say you're going to ban 1.6
He didn't say he's going to ban them. He said until we get it straightened out. And you know what?
We ever get it straightened out?
2/3 of Republicans agree with him. In Michigan, the highest Arab American population enclave in the country, They agreed with him.
Except, he never said, Steve, until we get it straightened out. What he said was...
Oh, yes, he did.
Excuse me. What he said was, until we can figure out why this is happening.
Oh, I misquoted his exact words?
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal, because I don't think we're ever going to figure out why terrorism is happening.
So just let him in. Let him in. So we'll take our chances, right?
You can take that position or not. All I'm asking is don't take the position that Donald Trump is saying this is temporary, because it's not temporary.
My heart would break if it's not temporary. It would keep us safe forever as opposed to just a little while. Tom, what do you think?
Well, Trump is a disruptor, and that's what he's doing. A lot of people in the conservative base are upset because they tried it the right way. They elected Republicans to the House in 2012. Nothing happened. 2014 gave them the Senate. So now it's time for disruption. That's the thought process of people supporting Trump. And getting back to Rick's point about Trump, Hillary Clinton does the same thing. She's not going to tax Wall Street, really, because of people giving her money. So she's really not going to do that. So all these politicians play the same game. And then we only
not supposed to be a politician. You're right. No, Hillary does do that. But Trump's supposed to be the outsider who's not a politician. You got the point right, Tom. He is a politician.
Carrie, go ahead.
I was going to say, Donald Trump, if you don't like Obamacare, if you don't like Dodd-Frank, then say, thank you, Donald Trump. You were the one who gave us these policies. He gave tens of thousands of dollars to Democrats who passed.
As a businessman who wanted to enhance his own standing in the business community and get favors. He's played the game. He knows the game, and he says he's sick of the game.
He is a power-hungry, greedy man who is serving his own ego.
And you know what, Carrie? With all due respect, if Kasich gets up there on a debate stage against Hillary...
So if it's okay for Donald Trump to give all this money and play the game, why is everybody so freaked out that Hillary made speeches for tons of money playing the game?
Because she's a hypocrite and she claims she didn't say anything in that speech.
But he's not.
Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Carrie. Tom, stay where you are. Up next, Julio Rivera and Stacey Washington will join us on the panel. Do not go away.